They erased his name in front of 200 people and he didn't say a word. That was the moment Ethan Cole died inside a bright boardroom in downtown Chicago, inside a glass building on Wacker Drive, where Luminary Tech was celebrating a $200 million deal. And while the screen behind Ryan Mercer flashed Visionary Founder and Claire Donovan stood smiling in a white suit, Ethan's title disappeared, like he had never existed. And here's the part that still makes people uncomfortable. He was the one who built the system. He was the one who stayed awake for 3 straight nights writing the code that made the company worth millions. He was the one who skipped his father's funeral in Ohio because Ryan said the investor meeting could not wait. And yet, when Claire clicked the slide that said leadership change, security was already walking toward him, already prepared, already told. And Ethan looked around that room full of people who once called him genius and saw nothing but silence. No one stood up, no one spoke, and Ryan finally leaned close and whispered, "It's just business." Like that made betrayal clean, like that made humiliation less painful. And as Ethan carried his small box past the glass walls where his own reflection looked like a stranger, he felt something worse than anger. He felt shame for trusting them, shame for believing 3 broke friends from the South Side could stay loyal when money showed up. And on the train ride home to his tiny apartment in Logan Square, he checked his bank app and realized his shares had been reduced months ago through legal restructuring, words he signed because he believed in friendship. And that night, he sat in the dark staring at the original Luminary source code, the code he wrote alone in 2021 when the office had no heat, and he noticed something simple but powerful. A core calibration key only he could run, something he built as protection in case investors ever tried to push him out. And here's the twist. He never deleted it, he never used it. He simply stopped maintaining it, and 2 weeks later, small errors began inside Luminary's AI system. Tiny wrong predictions in New York markets, then bigger ones in Los Angeles, then a major client in London losing millions overnight. And Ryan screamed at engineers who had no idea why the system was drifting, because they didn't build its heart. Ethan did. And every day the pressure grew. Reporters started asking questions. The $200 million deal paused. And suddenly, the same people who said he was no longer aligned were dialing his number at 2 a.m. And when Ethan finally answered, Ryan's voice was shaking. "We need you back." And Ethan asked one simple question that filled the silence like a storm. "If I was useless, why is everything falling apart?" And Ryan had no answer, only fear. And Claire tried to threaten him, saying regulators were now looking at executive decisions, and if the company collapsed, it would hurt everyone. And Ethan's reply was calm, almost soft. "No, it will hurt the ones who signed my removal, because legally they took full control without understanding the system required the original architect for safe recalibration." And as headlines changed from young Chicago tech stars to Luminary under investigation, Ethan did something no one expected. He built again, this time in a small office in River North with a new team, clear contracts, fair ownership, no fake promises, and within a year, Cole Systems was valued at $300 million, more than Luminary ever reached. And one morning, Ryan sat alone in a quiet cafe on Michigan Avenue, staring at Ethan's face on a business magazine cover, and finally understood the real punishment wasn't losing money. It was living with the truth that they destroyed the one person who would have protected them. And Claire, facing lawsuits and public shame, had to explain why she removed the only man who understood the machine. And the most painful part of their downfall was Ethan never attacked them, never exposed secrets, never shouted online. He simply stepped aside and let their decision destroy them slowly. And months later, on a stage in Chicago, Ethan looked at a crowd of young founders and said in simple words, "If someone helps you build your dream, don't push them out when you reach the top, because one day you may need the hands you tried to cut off." And that lesson spread far beyond tech, because the truth is, success without loyalty is a ticking bomb. And if you have ever been used, humiliated, or pushed aside, remember Ethan's silence hurt more than revenge ever could. So build so strong they regret losing you forever. And if you believe in rising without destroying yourself, subscribe now and comment "Rise" and share this story with someone who needs to hear it.